Long time ago, in a small village of Isiagwu, there lived a man named Amadi. Amadi was a jolly fellow with a big smile and even bigger appetite. His love for food was legendary, and he was known far and wide as the village glutton. From sunrise to sunset, Amadi would roam the village, sniffing out the delicious aromas wafting from every hut. He had a knack for finding the best cooks, and his visits were both anticipated and dreaded because his booming laugh and infectious humor brightened even the gloomiest of days. But dreaded because once Amadi arrived, no food was safe. "Ah, my dear Mama Emeka," Amadi would bellow as he entered a hut, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "I can see your famous jollof rice from miles away. Surely you won't deny an old friend a taste?" And with that, Amadi would plop himself down on the floor, his massive belly jiggling with delight. Mama Emeka, like so many others in the village, would sigh and shake her head, but she could never resist Amadi's infectious charm. Before long, she would be lading out generous portions of her delicious stew, watching in awe as Amadi devoured it in record time. "Ah, Mama Emeka, you have outdone yourself once again," Emeka would exclaim, patting his belly contentedly. And so it would go. Hut after hut, meal after meal, Amadi would charm his way into kitchen, devouring everything in sight, and leaving behind a trail of empty pots and bewildered cooks. But Amadi's gluttony was not without consequence. As he grew older and rounder, the villagers began to lose their patience with his antics. They would shake their heads and mutter under their breath, wondering when Amadi would finally learn his lesson. "That man will eat us out of house and home," one exasperated villager exclaimed. "He has no shame," another villager added. But Amadi would simply laugh off their concerns, his belly shaking with mirth. And so Amadi continued on his merry way, oblivious to the whispers and disapproving looks that followed him wherever he went. One fateful day, however, Amadi's insatiable appetite caught up with him. He had been making his usual rounds, stopping at every hut and sampling every dish. When he arrived at the home of Mama Ogechi, the villagers' most feared cook, Mama Ogechi was known for her fiery temper and even fierier pepper stew. Many a brave soul had been reduced to tears by her culinary creations, but Amadi, even the fearless glutton, was undeterred. "Ah, Mama Ogechi, surely you would not deny a poor, hungry man a taste of your culinary masterpiece?" Amadi pleaded, his belly rumbling in anticipation. Mama Ogechi narrowed her eyes, considering Amadi's request. She let out a deep sigh and nodded. With a wicked grin, Mama Ogechi disappeared into her kitchen, emerging a short while later with a steaming bowl of her infamous pepper stew. The aroma was tantalizing, but Amadi could sense the hidden danger lurking beneath the fragrant spices. Undeterred, he dug in, savoring every spicy bite. First, the flavors were heavenly, but as he continued to eat, the heat intensified, building and building until Amadi's eyes were streaming with tears. "Mama Ogechi!" he gasped, his mouth on fire. But Mama Ogechi simply laughed, her eyes alight with wicked glee. "The pepper stew is no ordinary dish. It is the very essence of fire itself, and you, my glutton friend, have finally met your match," Mama Ogechi said. Amadi tried to speak, but his words were drowned out by a violent cough. His face was red and sweat poured down his brow as he struggled to catch his breath. "Water!" he croaked, his voice barely a whisper. "I need water!" But Mama Ogechi shook her head, her laughter ringing through the hut. "Water will not save you now. This pepper stew has a thirst of his own, and only time will quench its flames," she said. And so Amadi suffered, his insatiable appetite finally tamed by the fiery wrath of Mama Ogechi's pepper stew. For days, Amadi endured the torment of Mama Ogechi's pepper stew, his mouth and throat burning with every breath. Finally, when the flames had died down and his appetite had been thoroughly quashed, he emerged from Mama Ogechi's hut a changed man. Gone was the jolly, carefree glutton that had once roamed the village. In his place stood a solemn, subdued figure, his eyes haunted by the memory of Mama Ogechi's pepper stew. From that day on, Amadi's gluttonous ways were a thing of the past. He ate sparingly, and never again did he take advantage of the village's hospitality. The villagers, for their parts, looked upon Amadi with newfound respect. They marveled at his transformation and praised Mama Ogechi for her ingenious solution to the village's gluttony problem. And so the story of Amadi, the village glutton, became a cautionary tale, passed down from generation to generation. A reminder that even the most insatiable of appetites can be tamed, and that sometimes the hottest of fire is the only thing that can quench the thirst of true gluttony. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel to enjoy more hilarious and educative stories. Goodbye.